Welcome back to Girl Talk. Well, September 30th was National Women's Health and Fitness Day, and now we're into October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So what better time to talk about women's health? With our next guest, we have Dr. Bailey Nye. She's from All About Chiropractic, and she's going to give us the facts and help us make smarter choices for our health as women. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
Always nice to see you.
Let's start with being proactive. How can women be proactive? What are some of the things we should be doing?
Well, a big reason that people or women in general should be proactive about their health is actually because we have this fallacy of feeling good, meaning that a lot of times we think that our health is based on our feelings. So if we think we're healthy or we feel good, then that must mean everything's okay. And the truth is, the top 3 killers of females is heart disease, cancer, and stroke. And all of those things initially have very little early symptoms or might not have any symptoms at all. So it's really important that we work on being proactive and look at things that we can do on a daily basis for our health.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's scary to even think about, but it's important to be proactive about it. As well, I mean, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what are some ways that we can prevent breast cancer?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of times, a lot of doctors in general, we just say, early detection is key. So you'll hear a lot of information about going in and making sure you're getting your yearlies and your mammograms and all those good things. But there's actually a lot of things that we can also do to help prevent cancer. And a couple of those big things were actually discovered by Johns Hopkins. They did research with men and women with cancer and realized that all men and women with cancer actually have 2 things. They're malnourished and they have high acidity in their body. So making sure that you have a diet that has a lot of basic foods in it is really good. Things like, greens, vegetables, lean proteins, as opposed to red meats, simple carbohydrates.
So those are two indicators that you might not realize. Like you said, you might be feeling good and not knowing that you have these kind of warning signs of these awful things that women go through.
And also frequent exercise too can actually decrease your risk of cancer, even as close to up to 50%. So it's a pretty big statistic. So it is really important to make sure that you're getting physical activity on a weekly basis. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I mean, just to think that exercise, it does all these other wonderful things for you, and it does that too. So there's no reason not to. And at least that's what we're going to keep telling ourselves, right? So you've got, cancer, heart disease. You mentioned those were 2 of the biggest concerns facing women nowadays. Are there any other major health concerns that you kind of want to bring to light?
Yeah, a lot of times when we see women, a lot of their concerns either include, body aches and pains. It's a really big one. They also have concerns over things like hormones, stress, fertility, pregnancy. But one of the on the rise topics that we find a lot of people, or women in particular, talking about is osteoporosis and their concern for their bone health and bone density.
So let's talk about that.
Sure.
I bet you're going to say exercise is going to be one of the things, but what are some of the things that we should be doing to help prevent osteoporosis?
That's great. And osteoporosis, what we have to understand is there's a lot of conflicting information out there about it. A couple of those is in fact that you want to do low intensity or low impact exercise, when the truth is you actually want impactful exercise, because impact on the bones actually helps rebuild new bone. So it's really important that we are getting either like that strength training in, or that we are going for a light jog as opposed to just hanging out in the pool and doing no resistance training. Also, we need to understand that calcium is in milk. It's not the best source, okay? Milk is not your best source of calcium. Actually, dark leafy greens are. And in fact, Wisconsin's actually has the highest rate of osteoporosis in the nation, and we're the dairy state, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are really surprised by that. So we need to make sure that we're incorporating a lot of those dark leafy greens, kale, spinach.
And those are basic foods too, like you mentioned earlier, so you're kind of hitting on 2 points there when you eat those.
Yep, absolutely.
We're almost out of time. Is there one quick more tip you want to give to us before we head out?
Yeah, absolutely. For women in general, there's a lot of good tips and secrets for women, but obviously, like we talked about, including health in your daily routine is really important. So make sure you're doing something healthy for yourself on a daily basis, as well as making sure that you're staying very hydrated. 40% of people confuse hunger and thirst all the time. So make sure that you reach for your water before you're reaching for food. And then last but not least, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you decide like, okay, I might need some help with my health, don't be afraid to reach out to that wellness doctor.
And you're such a wealth of knowledge.
I love seeing you every month because you just remind me to keep to do these things more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're
Always
welcome,
love
ladies.
conversations with you.
Thank
Very
you
good-
for having me.
Good information. This is Dr. Bailey Nye. She's with All About Chiropractic, and they're on Mineral Point Road. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're with Horung Do. It's a martial arts, and they're going to give us tips on keeping ourselves safe with verbal assertion and some de-escalation tips. We'll be right back.